All right, look, I'm gonna play you this video real quick, and it's Ryan Garcia basically going in on Bud for whatever reason. I don't really know. I guess that's just Ryan Garcia nowadays, right? But I think it's a video that you need to hear real quick. I'm gonna play it for you. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it because I've talked about it before, but it's just now Ryan Garcia kind of in a stupid way, echoing what I've always felt. But anyway, here's the video and we're gonna come back.
Bro, Terence Crawford really hasn't beat nobody other than Errol Spence Jr. that went through a car crash. Other than that, who Terence Crawford has actually beat? Name one guy that he beat other than Errol Spence. That's well known.
I think the Spence one was pretty impressive.
But name another one. Sean Porter that was from Wash.
He was on his way out.
He was on his way out, yeah.
Who has he beat? He hasn't beat nobody, bro. He's not gonna beat nobody, bro. Terence Crawford is not no, he ain't like that, bro. Terence Crawford is an overhyped bum, bro. I'm sorry. Somebody gotta say it. You're an overhyped bum, bro. I'm looking at the camera right now. You suck, bro. Just stop acting like you're like that. Stop stealing boxing money. You're wasting everybody's money. You're not entertaining, bro. You're boring as come see me in the ring if you think I'm...
Well, now that you've seen the video, before we talk about it, if you're new here, thanks for stopping in. And if you're a long-time subscriber, thank you for supporting this small community. I'm trying to grow it out. But let's talk about this video real quick. Basically, like you heard Ryan say, right? You know, he, in a very stupid and dumb way, he kind of put it together in a way that I've done in the past, where I've asked the question, you know, what makes Bud great? I've heard a lot of guys on YouTube saying, you know, he's one of the greatest fighters they've ever seen, right? He's probably one of the greatest fighters right now. Now, right now, I don't disagree with, is he one of the greatest fighters alive right now? Yeah, respectfully, right? But when you want to say one of the greatest fighters of all time, well, by what measure, right? Because his level of opposition is just non-existent, right? He doesn't have Hall of Famers in their prime, really, at all, except for Errol Spence. And when Ryan said, well, who has he beat, right? He beat Errol, and that was it, you know? And I mean, and Errol is beating Errol is beating his whole resume. Errol's resume is stacked. Now, Errol's resume versus Bud's resume is crazy. Does that make, you know, if Bud beats Errol, does that make him greater than Errol? Maybe, but Errol's career will go down as being better unless Crawford beats Canelo or somebody like that, or Benavidez. Then we're talking about something different, right? But if you look at Bud's body of work, you know, if you just go by the trinkets, the belts, you go, well, you know, 8 belts in 2 weight divisions unified, meaning undisputed, right? And blah blah blah. You go, well, that's a lot stacked. But is that better than someone who's just beat a Hall of Fame prime fighter in their prime and just took that one belt and moved up, right? And I say that to say, is he greater than Mayweather, right? Because Mayweather, although we can criticize his career all we want, he took the best fighter at the time, who sometimes was the champion, and beat them and then moved on, right? He never unified. I don't think you need to unify and be undisputed to say I'm the best at that weight class. You know, like I said, I've made this comparison before. And it's also Bud's fault in a way, because he knew going in that he wasn't going to get the fight staying with Top Rank. And when he had the chance to get away from Top Rank, he didn't. He doubled down. He stood on business and re-signed with Bob Arum. So they don't only complain about Bob Arum. And Bob Arum, also being an idiot, always clowning him in a way like he doesn't sell. Well, you know that, right? So, but Bob Arum didn't have a lot of people to choose from, so he had to kind of sign Bud, because if he didn't sign Bud, then the other side of the street would have everybody at that weight class. And then it's like, well, who do I have, right? But he did that to himself. He could have gone to the other side and got the fights across the street and actually built a Hall of Fame resume. Because then we would have seen it, right? And also, he was the bigger guy the whole time, coming up from 135 up to 147. He was the bigger guy. You see he balloons up, right? So now you're fighting guys that are elite, world-class elite, at best, on their best days, maybe 1 or 2 of them were elite. The other ones were just world class. And then you're bigger than them. And then you yourself have elite skill sets, right? So, because Bud is a complete athlete. So, you know, and for some reason, nobody wants to see Bud fight. I don't know if it's his attitude. I don't know if it's his face. I don't know if it's his name. Whatever it might be. Nobody wants to pay to see him. Nobody. You know, even Turkey Al-Sheikh just found out the hard way. He lost money. And the card was stacked. So the card was one of the best cards I could. I mean, it was a crazy stacked card. And when you think about it, well, if he lost money on it, then that means that whatever money that did come in was really more due to the undercard than it was Bud. So nobody still wants to see Bud fight. Conversely, if you had, I pretty much guarantee you, if you had Errol versus Madrimov, you probably would have had more people. Would it still lost money? Probably, but not as much as reportedly with $20 million. But he wants to see Bud fight, and I don't know why that is, because he's an exciting fighter. He's a talented fighter, but he didn't do himself no justice. And now he wants to hold out, like Eddie Hearn says, and possibly retire if he doesn't get Canelo, because he knows that's the only other fight that he can get, win or lose, where he's going to really cash out, because he didn't cash out before. He didn't make the money before throughout his career. So he's realizing, damn, I'm 37. I'm a millionaire, but I'm not Errol rich off boxing. He could be wealthier than Errol outside of boxing, you know, or you know, in the totality of the assets. But in boxing, he hasn't made what Errol has made. He hasn't sold what Errol has sold. He hasn't got the gates. So he knows the only way to do that is to get somebody else going to carry the fight, kind of like Errol did when they fought, and cash out. He found out with Madrimov it wasn't going to be easy at 154, so really, he waited too long. And I refuse to say that he's one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen, because I haven't seen him against the greatest fighters in his own era. I haven't seen Bud fight the best fighters in his own era, in the weight classes where they were in their prime and running shit. I didn't see that. So for me to say that he's one of the best I've ever seen, no, I can't say that. Potentially he could have been one of the greatest I've ever seen, but I never seen him in the ring with his contemporaries in their prime. And even that era, people had questions. So conclusion is he one of the best right now? Yeah, of course. That goes without saying, but is he one of the greatest I've ever lived? No, I can't say that. I can't sit here and say that. I cannot sit here and say that, because I've never seen him against his peers when they were in their prime doing what they were doing. But I did see Errol do that. I did see Danny Garcia do that. I did see Porter do that. So all them boys, Thurman, do all of that stuff. All fighting each other, making the fights they needed to make. The hell, I seen Thurman go against Manny, an old Manny. But Thurman got in there. The only other fighter that he got in with was with Porter, and Porter was already mentally checking out. He wasn't even the Porter that really wanted the win. So in the comments down below, what do you think? Am I crazy or am I right? Do you think that he's done enough in his career and he's fought enough Hall of Famers to himself be called one of the greatest of all time, as some of them are saying? Not the greatest today, greatest of all time. Remember that. It's greatest of all times. You think he's done enough? And who has he fought to prove that to you? Let me know in the comments down below. For me, he hasn't done it. But anyway, leave your comments down below. It's a discussion. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.